All right, what is going on, guys? Got another breakdown for UFC Austin. This one is the main event at featherweight. Great fight between Calvin Kattar and Josh Emmett. Kattar's gonna have a 2-inch reach advantage. He is 5 inches taller. Emmett training out Team Alpha Male. So I will start with Josh Emmett. Had a long career. Some injuries have really delayed him from getting higher in the rankings. I mean, he's been ranked as high as fourth, and I can't remember if that was lightweight or featherweight. Let me see. That was featherweight. Yeah, he main event against Jeremy Stevens. He got put out bad. There wasn't a legal knee right before it, but I don't think it had any effect on the knockout. It was a really bad knockout. Then he does come back, picks up a win over Michael Johnson. Maybe Michael Johnson is, reformed now. He looked really good in his last fight. Mirsad Bektic, good win. No longer with the promotion, had some bad luck, but also had some good moments in the UFC, some close fights with solid UFC veterans. So, solid win there, first round knockout. Then, after a long layoff, about a year, um, comes back and he wins a very, very solid decision against Shane Burgos. I would say that's his best win. He looked good in that one. Burgos has a chin and a half, but his defense isn't all that great. I think it's a great win a great fight to study for this fight because similar styles. I think Cater's a little bit more clean, but they're both tough, and they can. You're gonna have to do more than just power overhands, which Emmett does well. And then he wins a decision against Dan Ige. Closer fight than the the judges' scorecards would indicate. I thought Emmett clearly won the first round. He knocked Ige down. Second round was competitive, but I thought Ige outstruck him. Then Ige did outstrike him in the third round too. And one judge had a 30-27 for Emmett. Again, like if Emmett won the third, I couldn't hate on it. It was a close fight, but it was a lot closer than it would appear. And Emmett looked pretty tired in that fight. Stylistically, he is primarily a wrestler. At least his base is primarily a wrestler. In his past few fights, he's looked to strike a lot more, and he has very good footwork. He moves quite a bit. I think that's kind of why he gets tired. He has a lot of movement in his game, but a lot of feints. He circles a lot, and he's not predictable. It's not like he just circles and steps in and throws the right. He does do that a lot. That is his primary weapon, but he does have a lot of power in that right hand. But yeah, he will circle out and he'll throw a wide variety of strikes. He'll go from the left side and the right side. He will switch to southpaw occasionally, but primarily stays in orthodox. And yeah, just heavy hands for Josh Emmett. He'll go to the body. He'll go to the head. Nasty hooks. The overhand right though is his best weapon. He throws a lot of looping shots. He does have his fair share of knockouts over solid veterans. Bektic, Ricardo Lamos. So yeah, he's been around for a minute, man. Well rounded game. I just in this fight I worry about the cardio, especially over 5 rounds. He's been slated for 5 round fights before, but we haven't seen him go deep into a fight, at least not in a long, long time. Because the Stevens fight that was supposed to be 5 rounds, but it ended in the first. So I do worry about the cardio just because of how much movement there is in Josh Emmett's game. But this guy does have the power to put anybody out. Granted, it's been since July 2019 since we've seen him get a knockout, but Dan Ige and Shane Burgos, both of those guys have a chin and a half. They're tough to put away, especially Ige. And yeah, he got decision wins over both. Again, the Ige one was a little suspect, and the cardio worries me. But yeah, it's been a great career for Josh Emmett. And then for Calvin Kattar, really bounced back in a huge way against Giga Chikadze after the beating of the century against Max Holloway. But other than that, man, Calvin Kattar has looked excellent in the UFC. He's got a lot of confidence. One of the best pure boxers in the UFC. Spends a lot of time training with boxers. I know Emmett has in the past too, but that's Kattar's thing. He's a great boxer. Both of these guys are very heavy on their lead leg. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about Emmett, and they are both susceptible to low kicks. So we'll see what happens. Kattar in the past has not really addressed low kicks all that well. He seemed to be working more of his own in against Giga. But yeah, the boxing is just on point with Calvin Kattar. Wins a comfortable decision against Dan Ige, just touches him up from rounds 1 through 5. I think give a round or two in there for Ige, but it was mostly all Kattar. Kattar looked fine at the end of the fight. Ige looked busted up. So Solid win in a main event there for Calvin Kattar. On the first card back from COVID, legendary card 249 gets a really nice step in elbow KO against Jeremy Stevens after Stevens really puts it on him in the first. Loses a close fight against Zabit. Is Zabit officially retired? I don't know what's going on, but great fighter. It's a shame that we haven't seen more of him, but no qualms at all with the loss there. And then solid wins up and down the resume here for Kattar. Was able to put Burgos away. Emmett wasn't. First round knockout over Chris Fishgold. He also knocked out Ricardo Lamas, now retired. Lost a close fight with Renato Moicano, but yeah, the record is as good as it gets for Kattar. And in the last few years here, he's gotten a lot of worthwhile 5 round experience. He knows how to pace himself well over 5 rounds, and I think that Kattar, if he can just keep the fight standing and just land offense, he can maybe lose the first or 2 rounds, the first round or two, but this damage is going to add up. I think he had the volume output advantage. Jeez, I can't speak today, man. But yeah, Cater's got the volume advantage, and you just can't sit there and eat jabs from Kattar. I mean, on top of that too, he did work in some wrestling against Giga. I doubt we're gonna see him try to wrestle with Josh Emmett. If anything, I think Emmett's gonna look to wrestle early here. But he's not completely hopeless if it's not standing up, and he does have some other layers to his game. He's got really nice front kicks that I wish he would throw more. I think he could easily get a knockout with those. So it'll be interesting to see if he's working on his kicking game. But yeah, man, Iron Chin for sure. Like he had to go right to the hospital after the Giga fight. Because, I mean, obviously he went right to the hospital after the Holloway fight. Like, there's a video of Dana, like, being concerned about it, which the UFC does a good job with that stuff. Like there are some of these backwater promotions, like they don't care for fighter health at all. UFC and Bellator, to my knowledge, a lot of the top dogs do a good job of this. But even after the Giga fight where he won, they still wanted him to go just get monitored. That just speaks to how much he got beaten down in that Holloway fight. But he was mentally with it, man. He was ready to keep going. Like I just don't think you can put this guy away. Like he has next level mental toughness. The only thing that worries me is it's definitely going to be a case eventually where Cater's just taking so much damage that the chin might just start to go. But I thought that about Vicente Luque also. It's yet to happen. Luque shot up to the top five, and he used to just kind of be like a middling guy, and I thought, oh, he's taking a lot of damage. His chin will probably go. Cater might just have an iron chin, and he's far from a middling guy. Also, he really hasn't been in a few years. So, yeah, man, if you look at the odds here, Calvin Cater minus 250 on FanDuel, Calvin Cater minus 235 on DK, and I am gonna go with Calvin Cater. I like the 5 round cardio. I like the volume advantage. The best game plan I think for Emmett would be to try to wrestle right away. I think if Emmett can get a takedown in the first round, it's gonna say a lot about what the game plan is, and it's gonna be crucial for him banking these rounds because while Emmett does have power, I don't think he's gonna be able to put Cater away. I think Cater also has good defense. Sometimes Emmett can be a little bit wild. Don't get me wrong. He does land good strikes. He is efficient. He does have some level of technicality to his game, and he moves super well. But it's not on the same level as Calvin Cater. I think he's going to clearly be winning every round that this stays standing. I mean, again, you got to watch out for that Emmett overhand right. But I think that we've seen Cater hit with just so much damage. I mean, if he didn't get knocked out in that Holloway fight, granted Holloway doesn't have the power that Emmett has. He has that one shot knockout power, but I think his chin is solid enough to take it. We've seen him take some beatings from some power punchers before, and he just stays right in the pocket. And again, that Emmett fight, man, I worried about the cardio with Dan Ige. It was a really close fight with Dan Ige. I'm not saying you should have put Ige away because, he's got an iron chin. Cater wasn't able to put him away either, but it was really close, man. Like I think there's an argument that Ige won that fight. Like, am I crazy? I watched it this morning. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch it again. But I thought that Ige won that fight, or like at least it wasn't like a runaway for Josh Emmett. 30-27. I don't know what that judge was looking at all, man. But yeah, I do like Calvin Cater at this spot. I'm not going to bet the knockout prop just because Emmett has a chin, but we've seen him put out before, and it could be an attritive knockout. So if you're looking to play like a Kattar knockout, I think if you're going for a specific round like 3 or 4 is probably what you're going to be looking for. But if I decide on anything like that, I will put it on bet tip, and I'm gonna make a betting video this week too. I used to like doing those, so yeah, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the method. But at -235, I like Calvin Cater. I think the -220 to -250 range is about where this should be. Solid parlay piece. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.